see. All right. Thinking about it. It says it's not saying. Oh, yep, there we are. We're live. Okay, good
Yay!
stuff. Okay, amazing. I like always check our actual like YouTube page because I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Technology. I am such a grandma. Okay, well, thank you, Allison. We are so excited to have you on the Sunday Club. Um,
Woo!
yeah, so for those who don't know, the Sunday Club is a community by Mostis. Um, it is not exclusive to Mostis clients, and the idea is to really create a space for free planning advice and people to ask the questions that maybe they are not finding good answers to online, really want an expert opinion and or are afraid to ask. So thank you for joining us. Allison, tell me all about Double Happiness Bridal. For the group, Allison and I met at Everything But the Dress, the best bridal trade show in New York City. And, I remember little snippets from there, but please, share with the group how you came to found Double Happiness Bridal and sort of what led you down this path.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sarah and Mostest, for having me on. My name is Allison Chow, and I'm the founder of Double Happiness Bridal. We are a luxury bridal consignment boutique based in New York City. And yeah, honestly, Double Happiness was born out of my own experience. My husband and I got married in April of 2024, and I wore this massive Oscar ball gown. And I buy and sell everything secondhand anyway. So I didn't feel too precious about wanting to keep my own wedding gown. But when I went to go sell my dress, I realized that it was too new for vintage and it was too expensive, even at the reduced resale price, for anyone to buy sight unseen, right? You have to try these dresses on, you have to touch and feel them.
Yeah.
And I think the online only platforms don't allow you to do that, right? They don't allow try-ons. It's final sale, no returns. And so I noodled on the idea for a few months before finally just deciding to sell our dining room table. I did my own dress and a few friends of friends' dresses and set up shop in my dining room. And then a week later, this was in January of 2025, just a few months ago, a week later, a woman flew in and bought my Oscar ball gown on the spot. So that was my proof of concept. Yeah.
Okay, so I am realizing in having you, Allison, on here, what a funny dad I am. And I also buy secondhand a lot.
Yes.
I feel like, I live in New York, I'm at the heart of it, but
Totally.
break down for me, what is vintage? What is secondhand? Like for those of us who are just entering the space, and especially as we're thinking about really big and meaningful purchases, like what are those differences?
Totally. So I think you can think of secondhand as the broadest category, and that really refers to any item or garment that you're buying from a seller that's not the original brand or designer. I think that's an easy way to think about it.
Okay, so anything from TJ Maxx to
right.
thrifting potentially.
I think that's right. And then in bridal specifically, I think, vintage, I'm sure a lot of people would have different opinions on what constitutes vintage technically. But the way I see it, vintage is, well, put it this way. I think contemporary is kind of the last 3 to 5 seasons.
Okay, got it. So like not recently developed, but not,
right.
but not off the rack, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so and you're focused on contemporary, which means the latest-ish, but really like bringing in those recent trends, but really giving the modern bride a place to shop in a way that may be more sustainable. And also like on the flip side, I mean, my wedding dress has been collecting dust for longer than I care to share. So I think it's really, really smart. So if you are open to secondhand,
yes,
for your wedding dress or just even like a big milestone, what should we be thinking about as those who are shopping secondhand from an expert's perspective? I mean, obviously we can Google it, but like, what do you think are the things that are most missed that we should be aware of?
it's a great question. I think that brides who are interested and or fully committed to shopping secondhand should really think flexibly and use your imagination. What you take off the rack and try on could, with a few tweaks here and there, become, the dress of your dreams.
Right.
So for example, I just had a client who doesn't love strapless necklines. And she tried on this gorgeous gown that was strapless, but that was also too long for her. And we talked about, if you probably need 2 or 3 inches hemmed off the bottom anyway, you can take that extra material and make detachable straps, right? So I think being able to appreciate the possibilities in a garment and also appreciate the true literal magic that tailors, especially in New York City, can work. That's kind of the key with resale, secondhand, bridal.
That makes a lot of sense. When you're thinking about what's trending for 2026, what are you seeing? Both secondhand, contemporary, vintage, not any of those things, but what are things that you are seeing in? And then I'm going to follow up with what do you think is out?
Oh, okay. So I think we're continuing to see more color. And to me, as someone who curates our collection very carefully, that's really exciting. It really expands the definition of what bridal can be. Today, I just sold a gorgeous bright red Oscar de la Renta dress for a bridal brunch. People are shopping for so many different events. Do you really want to do all white for all your events? Maybe not. So that's a really exciting trend that I personally love.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And what do you think is inspiring the color trend? Just curious.
I think in bridal and in weddings, there is always a desire to be an individual and kind of stand out in what can sometimes feel like a kind of a homogenous category. And totally. So, yeah, I think adding color to your bridal wardrobe is an amazing kind of shortcut to making sure you're not wearing the same white dresses as the next girl.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I also feel like, our team has talked actually a bit about this because there is a movie, I'm sure many of you know it. It has Anne Hathaway and Kate Hudson in it. And it's essentially the plot is that they're best friends and they get married on the same day and they both want the plaza and they both want the same type dress designer and how much it's changed in the last decade from like everyone wants hypothetical, metaphorical, the plaza.
Totally. Yes, right. And everyone wants Vera and everyone wants it, right.
Right. To like, okay, you know what, a wedding in a way, it's such a big milestone in the moment, but it's also like a personal reflection of who I am as a person. How have you seen that even evolve in the last year of doing business? We're hearing it more and more every day to lead the witness.
Yeah. I mean, I think a good example of how that's happening specifically in the resale space is kind of like the reworking of garments that folks are finding on their own. So making it, even if you find it secondhand, making a garment so your own that there's no way, even if someone else has the same, 2020 Vera that you found.
Yeah.
So, you had your initials and your partner's initials sewn into the fabric, right? Like
thoughtful,
right?
Thoughtful. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that. I actually ironically had a scarf that had our like family's initials on it. The bouquet. Yeah, and that was like the most special thing to me from the entire,
Right. And that's a detail that is for you, right? Like it's not really like the guests.
It's not, yeah.
Really like a special, very intimate detail just kind of for you and your spouse.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, so talk about selling your gown. I imagine this is a bit of a controversial one. So obviously you're a trailblazer, no doubt about it. Yeah, so talk to me about how you believe the relationship with the dress would be and like what you're hearing and seeing.
Yes. So I think kind of it's two-pronged. Number one, there is a financial aspect, right?
Sure.
And I think weddings right now, life right now is very expensive. And so the opportunity to recoup some of your investment on a really big ticket item is nothing to sneeze at, and I'm sending out checks to consigners after their dresses have sold for $3, $4, $5, $6,000, and that's a really good chunk of change for something that might have otherwise just sat in your closet and honestly took up a lot of space. I also think that there is something more sentimental in giving your gown a second life. Even our name, Double Happiness Bridal, double happiness is actually a Chinese wedding symbol that symbolizes double the joy and happiness for newlyweds on the occasion of their marriage. And, I think it's perfectly applicable with bridal resale. Let something that was so treasured to me also, make your big day as well. And I think that's linked to, I think fewer and fewer brides are thinking about passing their gown on one day. Trends change, your kids might have totally different taste than you. And I think brides are being a little bit more realistic about other options. And this is an option that not only offers them economic value, but also a sentimental value that might replace, the passing down of a gown. It said you're passing it on.
That's amazing. I like that a lot. I think that's beautiful. Really, really nice. Okay, so on the flip side, what is the process like? I mean, for those who are interested in potentially consigning their gown after the big day?
Totally. Well, we are an end-to-end consignment service and keep it very seamless. We do complimentary pickup in New York City. And if you're outside the city, we'll prepay for shipping from you to our showroom. And from there, it's kind of set it and forget it. We handle all professional photography, merchandising, marketing. And the key factor that really sets Double Happiness Bridal apart is that we offer one-on-one private try-on appointments to high intent serious buyers, right? Like that's the thing you don't want to deal with. You don't want to be hosting folks in your home who reached out over the internet to say, oh, could I try that on at your house? And so we take that off your hands. Yeah. And the pitch is basically if let me take your dress and hold it for a year. If I can sell it, you'll get a check in the mail. And if I can't sell it, you get your dress back. Exactly. So it's a very no skin off your back proposition.
Yeah. Okay. So on the buying side, because a lot of our community is engaged right now.
Congratulations, community.
How often are you updating your inventory? And how hard would it be? I feel like what you do is probably 24/7, just being in the know about what's coming on the market. But totally. I feel like there's this myth, and we say DI cry, for those who think that potentially they don't need a planner, which I get it. And it's the same idea, I imagine, for Double Happiness, where in theory, you could get a better deal on your own. But talk to me about what Double Happiness is doing for the consumer in terms of curation and authentication, all of that good stuff.
Totally. So I think, sorry, there's a siren. So I think you hit on it perfectly. Yeah, you hit on it perfectly. I think first and foremost is curation for Double Happiness Bridal. We really are focused on the very high end of the market, dresses that retail for $7, $8, $9, up to $20,000, right? And I will do all the legwork. Right. I'll do all the legwork to find those gowns that are pre-vetted for pristine condition and whatnot. And I'll give you a fair price. In general, contemporary bridal resale starts at about 30% discount to retail. Again, kind of an economic no-brainer, right? Especially if I am doing the legwork of qualifying the condition of these dresses. And then I think beyond just the vetting for condition and authenticity, which again, in contemporary, not such a hard job, right? Where I'm not trying to.
But you see dupes of things all the time, modern, relevant collections, old collections. I see them, on my walk to my office. So I feel like, it should, if you're investing 30% of retail, I do think you having that eye matters.
Totally. But actually,
Yeah.
Right. I agree. But actually, my point is that like these gowns that, a Danielle Frankel gown that came out, that became available 6 months ago, like that's a real gown, right? Like the dupes haven't
Yeah.
even caught up with these contemporary gowns yet. It's not like you're talking about, Galliano from the 90s. So
Right. Where it's like, you really have to be like an expert in that.
exactly.
Yeah,
In like
totally.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say like it's curation, it's doing all the vetting for the buyer, and then lastly, I think sourcing, right? Like we offer sourcing to clients, and that means once you've found a gown that you feel you love and it's the one, why not put us on the job to try to get it at a great price?
Right. Totally. How much of the market are you seeing people looking to come in and peruse and understand what is
Hmm.
cool and interesting, or how much are you seeing those with like a specific like point of view on exactly what they want?
Totally. That's actually a great question. I mean, the buyer who bought my dress, my first sale I ever made, had reverse image searched for the gown, and
So like very
that's how she
specific.
found us exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, the same thing happened today with a client with the Sylvia Taurasi little mini dress, and she reverse image searched and found us, and ended up walking out with two more dresses actually.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
so I do think actually. Especially in the niche that Double Happiness Bridal is in, you get a lot of that hunter archetype who are looking for one specific piece. And then the rest, I do think are perusers, which is kind of the joy in, resale secondhand shopping anyway. It's kind of everything on the rack is there at one point in time. It could be gone tomorrow and there's no stock beyond that. And that's kind
Right.
of the joy of the hunt.
I love that. What is the piece that you've gotten in lately that just like made you have butterflies? Like what, like what
Oh
is,
my gosh.
yeah, piece you're most excited about?
Okay, I'll show you two, and they're both actually okay. Let's see. One is this Simone Rocha dress with
Wow.
this bust detail, where on the inside it's actually pearls.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Really, really special piece. And then I'd say my other piece I'm super excited about right now is this Dupioni silk
Ooh,
on a little courthouse suit look.
love.
Yeah, these are the benefits of working from my studio, which is also located in my house. I could just collection at my fingertips.
That's amazing. I say often, this industry makes me want to have another wedding. Same person,
Yes.
just
Oh,
the
100%.
outfits and the decor. So I can imagine it's, tense working in the space that you work in.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your knowledge with our community, and also a couple of amazing pieces too.
Absolutely.
For anyone who is listening along, we will make sure to share Double Happiness Bridal's info as a follow-up and when we post this on our social and all of that good stuff. But yeah, thank you. I feel like I got a mini education and also like the bug to go fall shopping even more. Thank you for one of those things. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much to Sarah and Mostis and the Mostis community. This is one of the greatest, I think, brands in the space. And the fact that this is a resource offered to the community for free is a beautiful thing. And, no gatekeeping.
No gatekeeping. It's like a very overwhelming process planning your wedding.
Totally.
Enough. I think there's a lot of surprises. I hope that finding Mostis and finding companies like Double Happiness can be a good surprise of the process.
Yes.
So thank you again for joining, and have a great rest of your Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.